DD214 Network podcast is for mature audiences only. Any videos, music, or entertainment not originating from DD214 Network is used and covered under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, also known as fair use. Opinions expressed are our own and do not represent any DoD or U.S. government entities as a whole. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. You are no longer alone now, because we have you.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good motherfucking morning. DD214 Network podcast.
Oh yeah, another day, another dollar. It came up kind of late for you too, right? The YouTube broadcast.
It came up late, and then it like pretty much immediately like synced. It was weird. It took like the first, I don't know, like 30 seconds maybe. I don't know. Like I was watching. I was like, it's like, why isn't it popping yet? And it finally popped. So anywho.
Yeah. Oh, there's Cleary. Oh, it's actually funny. Clear was on my mind too while we were talking about our new series that we're going to be coming out.
I think it would be a lot of fun to have Mr. Cleary on. I do.
Yeah. So I was thinking Cleary, Bodette, Ace, and Ronnie J. Our four horsemen.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, four horsemen.
The guys that have been there and kind of sticking it out for quite some time now. Yes.
Yes.
And I don't want to. Maybe I get a little sentimental sometimes. I don't want to touch anybody's buttons, but I wouldn't mind talking to Joe again. Joe Poe. I wouldn't mind having him back just for like an update, just to say hi. And
can I tell you something? It's actually been funny because I know my wife still talks to him, and he said, he sent money for my kid's birthday. And and it's funny because our buddy, our mutual friend from You, Me, and Lore, I got taken out of the episode that we recorded because I didn't want any. It was not part of the conversation, but we had gotten into a sidebar about him and talking about how I forgot what the context was. We were saying something that reminded us of him, and then I was like, damn, I missed that guy. And
when I was listening to that After Dark I told you about when we were talking before we went live, he's on there. And it's like all of us shooting the shit, and it was, but it was just What do you want me to say? I miss the guy. Okay?
There's something
even the Godfather has feelings. Okay.
There's something in the ether, because there's something in the ether happening. I haven't spoken to him. I mean, even on BRVG, his essence was there too, as he helped create that show too.
Absolutely.
And it's like that there's something. He's a good dude.
He's a good dude.
He's a good dude.
I was kind of sad to see him go, but when things happen in life, sometimes we have to make the decisions that are most important for ourselves.
Yeah, and he left before mine and his fallout too. It was way before. Yeah. It was completely separate.
It had nothing to do with any real negativity. It was just like he had to do stuff for himself, and that's okay. I just kind of wanted an update. I want to say hi to the motherfucker. You know what I mean? I barely talk to anybody. I'm Mr. fucking like, you know.
I know if he comes back, he's gonna fucking roast me, and I'm
Oh,
all
dude.
here for it. He's gonna roast me.
That shit, that whole episode that I listened to of that After Dark where we played the hot seat. You know, he's all over it. He's all over the buttons and the sound effects. You know, the dude couldn't miss that night. The dude could not miss that night. He was on point.
He really was.
And that was just like, you know,
those After Darks were so fun too, and that's why we want to bring them back, because we want to have those conversations again. You know,
agree.
And,
yeah,
hard fun. It's going to be fun. I mean, F3. Some other people like, and this is probably like our chance to kind of open up the doors again for other podcasters who aren't military guys to kind of be like, hey, this is our NXT. If you do good on here, it's kind of like, oh, you could come into our main roster. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And kind of, you know, it sounds weird saying this, but it's kind of like you have like our 4 horsemen who are like great leads for us, you know, who've always have been.
I think it was a good idea that you pitched last week or 2 weeks ago about kind of slightly reverting back to more of we need more guests. There's nothing wrong with it just being the 3 of us. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. But the whole the genesis of this podcast, the genesis of DD214 was we're a bunch of fucking crazy vets just hanging out, like in whatever form that is. So we probably should start investing in guests more, right?
And talking to you guys.
Yeah. And so yeah. Anywho, fucking how was your guys' week? John, how was your week?
Very tame. I think tonight me and my wife are going to watch Horizon.
What's that?
The Kevin Costner movie. It's on rental right now, so we're definitely going to watch that. But the movie made $11 million in the box office. It's not doing good.
Ooh, that's like
yeah, it's bad.
Yeah,
it's
11.
This was last week. It's probably
like
maybe a little. Yeah, it's bad. The movies
that's bad. That's like
and the reviews are good, you know, but they're saying it's like, so you know how, like, because there's going to be 4 of them, and you know usually the first one is usually either the best one or the most boring one. It's just,
I guess I don't.
We're gonna see. I'm gonna watch the movie tonight. We're gonna see. Okay. We're gonna see what it's like.
I want to hear about that next week.
You know, and
but
I was reading that Kevin Costner made a deal with the streaming services to help, you know, bring this movie to more eyes, because it's not doing good in theaters. People are not going to the theater. So I'm going to watch that tonight. Other than that, this week I missed The Boys. I have to watch The Boys, but Big Brother started. I'm in it to win it. It's kind of crazy.
Tell me how your podcast went with your old lady. Talking about your fucking trash reality shows and shit.
Yeah, so my wife and I, we finally worked on a podcast together after years of talking about it, and we did it for, you know, we're starting off with Big Brother. You know, I could actually have the feeds on right now.
Okay.
And I got it blurred out because I don't know how CBS is going to be.
We've been taken out a couple of times. We don't need to fuck with that.
But I'm actually super excited this year because they actually completely changed the show and the game, so it's all unexpected things that we would expect from the last couple of years, but it's not.
Okay.
So it's actually a very exciting season for one. There's a young Marine veteran in there named Cedric. He's 21 years old. He latches on to the older people for, you know, I guess he's like a mama's boy. But we have a great cast, a great group of people, not one that I'm looking at, I'm just like, wow, this person's going to cause trouble, you know, because the one person that we're just waiting caused trouble yesterday morning and caused a shit show in the house.
Has there ever been a season of Big Brother where like everybody's just nice?
No.
They don't.
There was a season where someone put a knife in someone's neck. Physically, like he was threatening to do something to her, and they kicked him out the house. That was season 2.
Oh, damn.
That's intense.
Yeah.
That's a little intense.
So the thing that happened yesterday, this one lady, she's a real estate agent, so I don't know what it's gonna look like when she gets out of the house. She went in on this one guy and started making fun of his physical features. And look, everyone looks different, right? He's got some big eyes, nothing wrong with that, and she was making fun of him about that. And like what it looked like to me was a mother berating someone else's child because they wouldn't let them play with them or something. And the way that it was just like disgusting, So after that, the guy was like sobbing for like 4 or 5 hours, and I just felt bad watching it. I'm just like, wow, Big Brother really kicked it up this fucking season in 5 days. But it's fun. Me and my wife did the podcast. It's actually fucking slamming right now, to be honest with you. I think I'm gonna have to make a separate YouTube page for that, so that I don't kind of mix it.
How many views do you have already?
So on YouTube, we have. I don't want to butcher this up. Hang on. Third episode's coming out tonight. First episode got 33 views. Second episode got 18.
Dude.
And it's all on Rumble. It got 40.
Dude, you guys always say like I'm the face of this show. That's probably why we get no fucking views. Okay, like the whole
what's going on?
The whole fucking like no wonder everybody fucking hates us. Like you do one show with your wife, dude. You're already like tripling and like 100%ing like our fucking view counts over here.
It's the
reality TV side of it.
Yeah.
There's so many people out there that follow that shit and look for new podcasts and different interesting takes on reality TV. It's all, again, we're in a very niche market.
Yeah, it is a very niche market. And let me see if it will show it real quick just to see what you guys can. Oh, okay, sweet. So this is different parts of the house. This is one of the bedrooms. And you can see there's 4 cameras that you could choose between, especially a quad cam. This is one of the bedrooms. Yep. This is like the kitchen dining area. That's Cedric the Marine. That's Kenny a police officer. Chemo the Hawaiian. That's the crazy
realtor.
Yeah, that's the crazy realtor right there. And yeah. Oh, and that girl right there.
30 seconds.
Yeah, and and that girl in the back over there says that she what did she say that got her in trouble with everyone in the internet right now? She was like, I got a bit autistic for a second.
I wouldn't make it 5 fucking seconds in a situation like that.
Oh, I know.
I'd walk in, grab a beer, fucking drink it, and walk right the fuck back out. Like I'd be out fucking day one, bro. I would not be able to hack it in an environment like that. There's no fucking way, dude. Like,
yeah, but things are good. I'm enjoying it. But to kind of go into a different note, I'll go into a quick gaming note. I did something so fucking cool this week in my RP server.
Okay.
You guys ever heard of the cash cab?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So in my server, I'm kind of getting to the point where I have way too much money. And I wanted to do something cool for the community. So we bought a group of friends of us bought a wagon, and 12 of us were on this wagon, and we rode around the whole map doing the cash wagon.
That's badass. That's cool. I like I think that's good. Yeah, that's a good idea. That was a good idea, John. What the fuck?
It was so fucking fun. I have one picture.
Did you get a good response from the community in your
Oh man. They were so happy that something like this was happening. Here we go. I got a picture right here to see like what one of the crowds looked like. You're familiar with Saint Denis, right, Jay?
Yes, I am. Very familiar.
I
was there last night.
There you go. So this is me right here in the middle.
Okay.
That's Tex right there, the Marine.
Okay.
And this is, this back group here were the ones that were on the wagon, and then everyone here were doing the trivia. And dude, it was fun, man. We were asking questions like Red Dead Redemption questions, in-server questions about certain people. We have this one thing in the server called Charlene's Milk, And no, the whole story about that, we don't know who Charlene is. We don't know where the milk is. We don't know where the milk comes from. It's just
Gavin.
Yeah, like exactly like Gavin.
Like Gavin.
It's funny. I'm still trying to finish that story too.
There is none.
It just keeps going, right?
Nobody. It goes all the way into the epilogue. No one has ever found Gavin. It doesn't. I'm assuming they estimate there were up to somewhere between 15 and 20 DLCs that were kind of like potentially like dropping eventually. So they left a lot of stuff open in the game, and I'm assuming so that some of the DLCs would like transfer over. As far as like we might like one of the DLCs might have been like find Gavin, right?
Yep.
And like that might have been one of the DLCs. But anywho,
and yeah, the last thing I have here, I want to show you guys this. I've been looking like for different veteran-owned businesses, just to kind of see what they have, and I found this. It's called Warrior Camos.
Okay.
It's like party shirts, polos and stuff. I'll start with the button downs. Look at these, man.
Okay.
I'd fucking wear those.
Yeah.
They're not terribly tacky. Like, can you scroll down? Are there other options?
Oh yeah, Jay, you look like you would wear this one right here.
That one I would. That's close to something I would. If it does it come in black?
That more BDU pattern too.
Does it come in black?
I can't see Jay wearing this one, the BDU one.
Fuck no.
I can see him wearing this one. I don't know
if that one was darker in shade. If that one was like closer to like a dark gray, like a very dark gray or black, like that.
Look, there's a black.
Right. That one right there.
There you go.
I'll button my shit all the way to the top, homie. We in this piece essay. All right.
Yeah, they got. I think they got. This one looks pretty cool too. This time.
I could maybe do one.
Black one.
I could probably do that one. I could probably do that one.
Black.
That's nice.
Hey, John, if you want to be the Tiger King, there's that last one in that row.
There it is. There it is.
What, motherfucker?
They got some really nice digs. Their polos are interesting too. These look like more like work shirts, like golf shirts.
Yeah, those are like the cat, like when you have to have a when you have like a dinner with your like the people you work with and your like bosses are there.
Yeah,
like that's the that's those shirts.
That's totally a John thing there.
Throw on a pair of khakis and one of these fucking like golf shirts.
Now this shirt here.
Oh, there I am. What's that one on the far left?
That one, yeah, there we go.
I would fucking wear it.
Get on the way.
That thing is beautiful.
It's my shit.
I like this one. This one is nice. I like.
I like plaid.
Ooh, look at that one. OD green.
OD. Yeah, OD.
That's fucking nice.
To the jungles of Nam.
Telling you.
Yeah, this is some.
What's the name of
nice shit.
What's the name of his fucking outfit? Warrior Camos.
Warrior Camos.
I might have to update some of my fucking wardrobe. I end up in the same rotation. I end up in like the same rotation of like the same.
Make a note to visit Warrior Camos website later.
Yeah.
Shirts.
And over here, military first responders discount. You can actually log in, and you log in. You put your credentials in there for Verify Pass. And anything that you need to verify you're a veteran or a first responder, and you'll be able to get a discount code for all these products. We're not affiliated. I just think that this company's fucking awesome. I think their shirts.
That looked pretty cool to me. It looked all right to me.
Yeah, yep. I mean, they some really nice stuff. But yeah, that's all I got for the week. It was a very tame week.
Okay. Joe, how was your week? Bless you, by the way.
Thank you.
I mean, typical shit. Except, I finally gave up the chew.
Oh, dude, you did. Tell me, dude, Joe. Tell us about.
That's awesome, man.
I want to hear about that.
I mean, it's one of those things I've tried many times since getting out of the Army to quit. Each time's ended up failing. This week just altogether was fucking stressful. Still dealing with bullshit at my apartment. So, of course, I chose the worst week to start because I was just under a lot of fucking stress, but I still kicked its ass.
Right.
Started using the little fucking nicotine pouches because they're like a step down system, in my opinion. And it gives me that feeling that
he's the only one that doesn't smoke, D.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that's only because of state law. If it was once they make it recreational and medical use here, it'll happen.
John, take that down. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Oh shit.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue, huh?
So, I mean, I've started using these. And actually, this is the first can I opened. I bought 10 cans.
Oh,
and
shit.
I've only gone through one can in a week.
There you go.
I've got, I think there's one more left in here.
Oh,
so are those kind of like my snooze?
Yeah. So they're upper lip. But my plan is
it's just a different delivery system.
Yeah. My plan is start with the 8 mils, go with these for a month, switch down to the next step down, which is I think 4 milligrams, and then after that's 2 milligrams.
You're gonna try to completely cessate.
Yeah.
Like you're about to go.
I'm gonna
work
just completely cut it out. I mean, the thing is,
help me out here. Are there different? They're like different strengths of these things.
Yeah. So these are 8 milligrams of nicotine per pouch. Then so this company, they sell some like 0.5 ones also, but you can only get those online. Let me pull up their website. And
do you get like a sensation from taking them? I've never taken them before.
It's not.
That's what I'm trying to avoid, because like the sensation usually gets me sick.
No, it wouldn't be like that. No.
So here's the thing. Like, being someone that came from actually using chewing tobacco, the first time I ever dipped or used chew, I got really lightheaded because that's a lot of fucking nicotine at once going into your system.
Yeah.
Because they say 1 pack of smoke, 1 can of dip is the equivalent of, I think it's like 10 packs of cigarettes.
Fucking YOLO, dude. That shit got us
Holy
through Afghanistan, homie.
So, of course,
John,
if you're not used to that high of a delivery of nicotine into your system at once, you're gonna feel something.
Go learn today. Go learn today with that
different levels of nicotine. You can easily just go and get the 4 or the 2 milligram, which are the 2, I think, is the lowest. I'm looking at their site right now to figure it out. Of course, this page doesn't actually have the information I need.
I'm just freaking. I'm proud of you, like for getting off the fucking. That's
great.
I still use Camel Snooze, but I have not. I do occasionally bum cigarettes, but they're very few and far between. But I have not bought a pack of cigarettes since December of 2020. Like, so I've been off cigarettes. I've been off cigarettes for like going on about 3.5 years now.
Yeah. So
like, it's just a different delivery system for nicotine.
Yeah, it's 8, 4, and 2 milligrams. So, but online they also sell 3.5 and 6.5 milligram pouches. But this has worked great. Again, this is the first can I opened out of the 10 I bought. From a financial perspective, once I'm fully done, that's going to be $200 a month back in my pocket.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Because I was spending $50 a week on chew, on dip. And
that's a lot of fucking chew, bro.
Yeah.
And
that's 10 cans.
Well, dude, I remember when I dipped, it would take me somewhere between like 1 and 3 days. 1 and 3 days to go through a can.
But yeah, they've got different flavors too. Like, this is wintergreen. They've got mint. They've got
coffee, have citrus.
They've got cinnamon.
Citrus.
Berry. They have citrus.
From the
Dungeon. They have original, which I'm guessing is just flavorless.
Yeah, it's just like just you know what? Like, just our parents were right. Our parents were right. Just don't fucking start, kids. Okay, like stay the fuck away from nicotine.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It's a lifelong fucking like the hook never come. The hook has never come out.
Yeah, you definitely
The hook
don't
has
want to
never
go
come
down
out.
that fucking route because it takes fucking forever. I mean,
That
I
goddamn-
started dipping at 15 working in a tobacco field.
I think I had my first cigarettes somewhere around like 13, 14. The hook went in at 17. I very specifically remember that. I was 17 when the hook went in. That was 1998, kids. Do your own math. 1998 to fucking 2024. That's how long Jay's had the hook in him. Like, that's like, just stay the fuck away from nicotine, kids. All right?
So, you know,
and if you're a kid, you should not be watching this fucking show. You're wrong already.
I'm doing this. I'm fucking working on it. The old lady yesterday, she thought she'd be funny and be like, well, since you can last this long without that, why don't you give up alcohol?
No.
Whoa. I'm about to start.
Nah. Pump the fucking brakes there real quick. One goddamn vice at a time. Vice at a time. Okay.
So Cleary, I'm gonna speak on what Cleary just said, because when I went up to Massachusetts to Boston back in November last year, I thought I brought enough tobacco with me and I was short. And on the last day before having to fly home, I had to find a gas station to pick up a can. And a $4.87 can of dip here in North Carolina cost me fucking $13. Well, no, it was like $15 because I got a can of dip and a bottle of Prime from this gas station, and it cost me almost $20.
That's like a fucking pint of liquor, bro.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
it was cheaper to get beer than it was to get my fucking nicotine.
Dude, like, so, like, you know, and I'll tell you what, you know, it's bad. Like, here in Missouri traditionally has super low tobacco prices, right?
Yeah.
The cheap fucking shit out here is still $5 a fucking pack.
Yeah.
The cheap shit is like $5 a pack. It's no cigarette on earth is worth more than about $2.50 a pack.
That's
right.
No cigarette
right.
on earth.
I have my wife's uncles who live in Massachusetts. They have to go to Connecticut just to get menthol cigarettes too.
Yeah.
Dude, we should fucking rob a cigarette truck and we'll go fucking up to fucking Massachusetts and we'll sell the menthols to all the fucking all the boys in Dorchester.
They do that already.
I know.
They do that already. They go into Connecticut, they buy the cartons and they go back to Massachusetts and they sell them for like $20 a pop.
So we'll get to your comment there from the dungeon about the whole alcohol thing, but that's I'm gonna circle back to Jay with the whole KC prices. That's like the last day, like the day we were flying out from KC back in May. You know, I needed to get a can of this for the flight because you're not allowed to use regular chew on a flight. Technically, you're not supposed to use this either, but this is concealable compared to
it's spitless. It's spitless.
Yeah. But I mean, a can of this in KC was the same as it is here.
That's good. You're in North Carolina. Probably the only other states that's comparable to Missouri with how low their tobacco prices are.
Tennessee.
This shit's fucking grown. This shit's grown there, bro. Of course it's gonna be. I would hope it's cheap for you. It's cheaper for you.
Tennessee's actually cheaper than North Carolina and Kansas City. So when we go out to Tennessee to visit our buddies that live in Chattanooga, when I pick up a can of dip there, if I don't bring enough with me last time we went, it was $2.25 cheaper in Tennessee to buy a can than it was in North Carolina. Instead of it being almost $6, it was right at $4. So, but on D's comment here, don't you have to get pills in order to come off of alcohol? If you have a dependency for it, you could die. If you're
a fucking hardcore out, okay. Real quick, let's talk about alcohol use and alcohol misuse. Okay, here on this show, we do not endorse or oppose what people kind of choose to do in their own individual lives. Yep. When people come to individual decisions to change certain habits that they may or may not have in their individual lives, we fully support that too. no one here on this show is what I would call like a hard alcoholic. We might check a couple of the fucking boxes, but the fucking reality is, alcohol is not the problem in our lives.
I could name you one guy who was.
Like, it's okay when people have a problem and they recognize it. That's good, and I fully support that shit. I fully support it.
Yeah.
Whether if you go full blown sober, or if you just decide to fucking, only have a beer or two on the weekends. If you decide to have a couple of glasses of wine at the end of a work day to help you wind down and relax, I don't give a fuck. It's not it's past the end of this thing right here, my nose. None of my fucking business, what anybody does in their life. What I do in my life is my business, right? And jamming, we support that. We support all that. Okay, I can't tell you how many people I know that are in recovery right now from alcoholism. The only thing we would ask on this show is don't point fingers. Okay, we don't need any pots calling the kettle black.
That's right.
So because we also have no problem holding the mirror right back up. Okay, so when somebody tries to tell us how to live, we also don't play that game. So that's why like I'm gonna sit here with a fucking Miller High Life on my Sunday in my church, and I'm gonna enjoy it. Joe, cheers to you, brother.
Cheers. And I'm gonna have my whiskey ginger. I mean,
and I'm also drinking for the people out there that can't. All right, for you guys, for you guys, and all of your endeavors.
You should really just cheers us with some fucking rubbing alcohol.
I'm not gonna drink it. It's all
Please
I got.
Don't. That's dangerous.
I'm not going to. I'm not.
That's actually how you die from alcohol.
That's alcohol poisoning, guys. If you drink this, that's right.
Don't ever drink that. That shit will not. That doesn't get you drunk. Like. Fucking A from the dungeon.
If you stick around, Jay's got a Roadhouse coming up soon, so
no, we have a fucking
around.
Holy shit!
We actually have a new segment too.
Yes, we do. Finish your thing. I have a question to ask you guys, and then we'll get to that your segment, Tech, because I really want to.
So I mean, the thing is, has it been a little rough? Yes, but with quitting so far, there's a few things I've already noticed in the several days that I've been without the actual dip. Sleeping a little bit better.
Really?
A little more energized when I wake up in the morning.
And what tell me about that. I want to hear about that part first, the sleeping.
So I sleep
because I'll quit Campbell Snooze before I fucking quit drinking, right?
Yeah. So with that, I'm typically a really hot sleeper, and I sweat really bad at night. I've got, a window unit in our bedroom, and that's cranked all the way down as low as it can get, and 2 fans blowing right on me at night. And I still am sweating like a stuffed pig when I sleep. The past couple days, I haven't been sweating as bad when I'm sleeping. Waking up feeling more energized. Actually getting sleep. And what that's starting to, like what I was saying to Jay before even John came in, is I feel like maybe because I was so used to the amount of nicotine going into my system when I was asleep for 8, 10, 11 hours at night, I was going through nicotine withdrawals, which was what was causing the sweating and overheating and not being able to sleep.
And if you dip as much as you say you were dipping, you were taking in a lot of nicotine, so that actually kind of makes sense. I could see that.
So that's one thing. Now it's I have one of these in right now. I'll take it out at some point here shortly, give it a couple hours, put another one in, and I've been perfectly fine with that. Like I'm noticing that.
I love hearing this, man. This is so positive.
I'm more doing this so there's medical reasons or health reasons behind it, and not just the typical that tobacco's bad.
Hey dude, you're getting older. You're getting older, so you better start fucking paying a little bit more attention to it, right? Yeah,
and the thing is, I have a genetic condition with the enamel on my teeth where it never formed properly. So
interesting.
Dipping doesn't help with fucking that to begin with, because I had fucking weak ass enamel.
Don't even get me started on nasty mine already, because I have a fucking similar problem with my enamel.
So I have to get.
That shit comes off with nothing.
I was told at 25 that by the time I hit 30, I needed to have all my bottom teeth pulled.
Yeah.
In either implants or dentures. I've avoided the dentist at all costs because one thing I told myself is I wasn't going to dump all that money into dental work to get that shit fixed until I was off of
nicotine
using the tobacco.
Yeah, because they have that fucking what they do is they drill holes in your fucking jaw and they screw the teeth down into your fucking
Well, that's
jaw.
the implants.
That's the implants. But you can't you cannot have any nicotine. If you
can't use chewing tobacco because it'll just fuck up those fake teeth.
Cigarettes either. They don't want you smoking. They don't want you doing anything. Like all the shit that's in fucking.
They don't want you smoking. I've got several buddies that have gotten multiple implants done on their bottom teeth and they still smoke and they haven't had issues. But again, that's their call.
Roll the dice, yeah.
That's a roll of the dice because I mean, they've gotten cheaper over the years because when it was first talked to with me, I think it was like $2,000 per implant, per tooth.
I remember when I got one of my wisdom teeth pulled in the Army, and they tell you not to smoke, and I was like, fuck these motherfuckers, dude. Like, and I smoked a cigarette, and I'm lucky because I didn't get dry socket because I saw another soldier. I saw another soldier get dry socket.
That's like
that motherfucking shit looked painful. That looked painful.
I got a tooth missing here. Right. I got one down here that's already been pulled. I got one on this side. The two on the bottom and the one on the two on the bottom were pulled within the last 5 years.
Right.
And each time, after about 4 hours after having them pulled, I put a dip in. And I rolled the fucking dice. I shouldn't have fucking done it.
Agreed.
Because I could have gotten dry socket, but I rolled the fucking dice because I'm a fucking grown ass man. I'm gonna do what I need, what I want.
Yep, we're fucking stubborn as shit, and we don't give a fuck.
And it's one of those things like we've got. So we just re-signed a lease at our current townhouse. We only did a 6 month. We only did a 6 month because shit's going. You got
it done nice.
Shit's going to fucking hell in a handbasket here, but. Next month, when our lease would have been up on the 24th of August, we're going to be at the beach on a family beach trip. So trying to move and juggle a beach trip at the same time just wouldn't fucking work.
Right.
So I was able to get us a 6 month lease for the exact same we're paying now. So no increase on our rent or anything. And then February, we're moving. After we move in February, then it's going to be time to start tackling getting fucking dental work done.
Right.
And the other upside of that is
one thing at a time.
The wife just got offered a fucking job with the state. So my dental insurance is going to be fucking great.
There it is. Fucking get it in while you can get it in, dude. Like I'm telling you, that's fucking anywho.
Yeah. You guys want to put someone on the wall of shame today?
Oh God.
Who?
What do we got?
You guys familiar with Boogie?
Nope.
Boogie 2988.
Oh, you're talking about the YouTuber.
Yeah. So
not even close.
So Boogie is scamming people, telling people he has cancer, and he's been doing this for the last 2 years. And he got put on a panel with a guy with Keemstar, Destiny, XQC was a part of it. These are all like different YouTubers, like just different YouTubers, and they put this guy on blast for claiming for him, receiving money and him crying wolf about his cancer diagnosis. One thing that we do know is that he has polycythemia vera, which is a type of blood cancer, but he has not been able to prove his claims.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah, it's
I feel confused.
Well, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I investigated every single thing, but I can tell you that the few things that I did watch in the documentaries that are out there, the guy's been lying about a lot of things more than just the cancer. He's a chomo.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. He should have let off with that one.
Always start with the chomo.
Start with the chomo.
Okay,
You'll get instant hate from me. Instant
I mean, this guy talks about changing the age of cassette, which is fucking disgusting. He also has someone put the suicide hotline disclaimer up, please.
Hang on. I got you.
Yes.
Got it.
So this guy, while he was getting fired on the air for LolCow with Keemstar, he was getting fired, and he decided to double down on his craziness and got naked on air and threatened to pursue self-harm live on YouTube.
Okay.
And this is not the first time he's done it either, too.
Fuck.
Yeah,
that sounds like just a disturbed individual, and I don't really have two ways about that to say that. That just sounds like an individual who's very, very disturbed.
Yeah,
and I'm trying to think about like a responsible way to like say the words that I want to say so that it doesn't come off like.
Don't worry. People already called them people called them the R word already, so you don't have to say it.
It's not even that.
Which R word?
It's not even. No, don't. Both of you stop. See both.
Which one?
Stop.
Send it to me in a private message.
Artard. He was talking about Artard.
Like,
all right. Like, yeah. Okay. There is something to be said for people that are hardcore like attention seekers. Okay. And that's like, and then when people seek this kind of attention, it's become like almost a fad.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous, and I'll tell you why. And it's not. Let me take this down real quick.
Yeah.
The fad is dangerous, and I'll tell you why. Do you remember that video where that dude was getting stupid at a convenience store, and he dropped the N-word a couple of times and telling the dude to hit him?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the Twisted Tea incident?
The Twisted Tea, yeah.
Yep.
Let's get twisted.
Okay, that shit like that is why it's dangerous. I saw a different video in the same vein. I think it was this last week, maybe, or at the very latest the week before. It was a TikTok, and two dudes were filming, and this dude went up to this other dude at a fucking grocery store line and started picking up his shit. And the dude was like, "Motherfucker, I'm legal concealed carry. Like, I will fucking shoot you right now. Put my fucking shit down."
Yeah.
Like, when you're attention seeking on these levels, like, you do not know who the fuck you're around.
Yeah.
Like
what they're gonna do.
We're all vets, right? So like, we've met a very wide spectrum of individuals in and out of the Army, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, some people you're around, these strangers in your life that you pass by like so many NPCs in the video games you play, they're not fucking NPCs. And some of them fucking don't play. And if you fucking seek their attention in the wrong way, you're going to find out how fast they don't fucking play.
That's right.
And that's why it's dangerous, because you don't know who the fuck you're around. Like, stop the dumb shit. Getting like clicks and likes and views. Jesus Christ, dude. Like, that's like some fucking wannabe celebrity shit. Have you seen how, let me tell you how much the celebrities fucking respect themselves. All right. Look at all the fucking goddamn Botox they fucking inject into their fucking faces. They can't even look at themselves in the fucking mirror without wanting to fucking change something about themselves. Okay. And you want to emulate that shit? And you want to be like that? And you want to wear the fucking, like, the trashy clothes and have the fucking gaudy ass houses, lined with gold? Like, that shit's fucking tacky as fuck.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, the people that have had the worst taste in my life personally, the people that have always had the worst taste are the fucking rich and the famous, dude. They have the worst fucking taste. In general, I'm not saying every single specific individual. In general, they have the worst fucking taste.
Speaking of taste, actually.
Their fucking food, dude, their fucking food sucks. Their goddamn furniture sucks. Okay? Their fucking decorating sucks in their houses. And it's all because they think it's something. right?
Yeah.
And it's not. And it's what it is gaudy. And when you start attention seeking for views and clicks, somebody's gonna wake you up to fucking reality that they're not an NPC.
Yeah.
Like,
now,
like we're not NPCs running around here, dude. Like, we're actual human beings.
Yep.
And like pick the wrong one.
Yeah,
Pick the wrong one on the wrong day. Like,
now, Jay, you said the word taste.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the taco?
Yeah, let's talk. God damn this fucking. Oh, God. Okay.
So look, we're gonna have Colbert say it real quick.
You know what's fun? What's funny is before you played this, I want to let our audience in on a little secret. You guys made me aware that this shit even existed. I was working at the stadium when you sent that text. Like, I was.
Oh, that's fucking great. That was perfect.
That is timing, funny. No way.
I was working when you guys sent that text. Like, I was working at the K. Like, I was there.
Well,
damn it, John.
Here's the taco in question.
Play the clip.
That's fun. Meanwhile, the Kansas City Royals have a new ballpark food item called the Taste of K Taco, which is a charred hot dog wrapped in a cheeseburger quesadilla and topped with barbecue brisket, French fries, shredded romaine, pickled red onions, sriracha cracker jacks, and 816 sauce. Now, I don't know exactly.
Okay.
You stopped it before the joke.
Oh, the joke is coming?
Sriracha cracker jacks and 816 sauce. Now, I don't know exactly what 816 sauce is, but based on those other ingredients, I assume it's embalming fluid. Meanwhile.
All right, John, that's it.
Yeah, so look at this thing. What the fuck is that?
Hey, pull the picture that Joe sent out of the group chat. It'll be bigger.
Well,
So
first off,
they can see what
the fuck is that? And let's talk about what your response to that was yesterday, John.
I would eat it.
I said my response was shit. Holy shit. Like that's fucking like that's fucking like death.
Holy shit. Holy shit, Jay.
What? Like,
oh man. So here it is.
There you go.
It's a little grainy. Sorry, but
okay. Yeah, it's okay. That's okay. That's it. Dude, look at that fucking thing, dude. Like, it's an abomination. It shouldn't live. Throw it off the fucking cliff, okay? Like, we're like, oh, here we fucking go with this shit again. Everybody wants to eat it.
It's a ballpark food.
No, the fuck it's not. No, the fuck that is.
No,
it's ballpark now.
Jay, hold on. I'm going to defend John's comment here.
God damn it.
It's all the ballpark foods combined into one.
There it is.
Not a ballpark food,
especially Cracker Jack.
One.
It's like you ever need like a goddamn. If you're ever wondering whether or not like society is collapsing, you know, like just remember that goddamn taco, okay?
Like, you mean to tell me that last week that guy didn't ruin the country? It's the taco.
It's the fucking taco, dude.
It's the ballpark food. It's not ballpark food. It's the ballpark.
Every ballpark food ever combined into a taco. Like what the fucking fuck?
See, I would rather just eat the cheeseburger quesadilla. I'm just throwing it out because
these are your people. These are your people. These are your Royals, man.
These are my people. These aren't the.
So
they're singing the song of my heart. You know what I mean? Like
my thing is, we could have just left it at cheeseburger quesadilla and a hot dog.
You could. They could have. But did they stop there?
No, they didn't because what's KC known for, Jay? They're fucking barbecue. So we're throwing fucking brisket on this bitch to make it go one extra step.
Yep, and don't forget the Cracker Jack with sriracha fucking sauce and all that shit.
816, our signature sauce with a hit of spice that is balanced with sweetness to develop complex layers of flavor. It reminds me that sounds like Memphis tea. That's incredible.
Dude,
So
it's not. It's scary. It's like a sign of the apocalypse, dude.
Yeah. So the last news I have before we get into the Roadhouse.
whoa,
I know you guys. Well, what else we got? Oh, do that now. Do it now. It swept over my head. Do it now.
So
Yeah,
this
because this shit happened like 2 days ago.
Yeah, this is 100% fucking like just,
and it was a big deal. It was a big fucking deal.
Huge. So I work in IT. I run a service desk. That's what I do. And there was a huge fucking tech takedown due to a fucking software update. Now, before I go into the exact details of said issue, I'm going to just say the number one rule of IT is never update your software on a fucking Friday. It's always the Friday updates that fuck shit up. So CrowdStrike pushes out.
You also like test it before? You like,
well, I mean, here's the thing. So there is QA testing with any updates and patches or fixes. And with that, it's a very small control group. So things do sometimes get overlooked. Nothing this fucking big. So CrowdStrike, who's a giant cybersecurity provider, had released an update late Thursday going into Friday to patch to their software. Bunch of computers globally with corporations. I mean, Starbucks, McDonald's, fucking Microsoft. Bunch of big fucking companies were down. Like airlines were writing paper tickets.
Yeah, boarding passes.
People could get on fucking flights. McDonald's and Starbucks were having to take orders with a fucking pen and paper.
Oh man, the horror, the fucking horror.
Yeah.
Right
now. Right? This is where my argument and D, you're gonna love this argument, because here's the thing. You know what users weren't affected within the IT infrastructure?
Apple, Mac
and Linux users. So CrowdStrike, some of their customers use Windows environments. Some host their stuff on Mac servers or Linux servers. Mm-hmm. The only side of their business that got affected was the fucking Windows users.
Mm-hmm. And this was an accident on the good guy side. Imagine if this had been like a hacking, like
was this a mistake that was made by a person who put the wrong coding? What could have
from everything I've done research wise since Friday, it wasn't. It was 100% bad software. It was bad
software.
They didn't properly vet the software, or they didn't use a big enough control group to make sure the software was going to work.
And then they rolled it out.
A lot of companies will produce
corners. They'll cut corners. It's called cutting corners. Call it what it is, dude.
They cut corners, but it's control groups. So they'll do tests of their software. They'll do QA tests where it's, so in this case, since it's Windows, Mac, and Linux, they're going to test it on all three platforms in a very small control group of 10 to 15 computers to make sure nothing goes wrong.
Doesn't sound like they did that.
But when you're looking at a company like CrowdStrike, who is a huge cybersecurity provider for major corporations, airlines, all these other companies, entire fucking states. Yeah, no. And the thing is, when you're looking at, you've got that big of a user base of your product, 10 to 15 computers in each environment isn't a proper control group.
Not even close.
So a little bit of background on the CEO of CrowdStrike. The CEO, George Kurtz, used to be the CEO of McAfee.
Oh, really?
And you want to know when his tenure at McAfee ended? There was a big incident like this, similar incident with McAfee in the early 2000s. Or mid,
Really?
around like 2010, 2014.
So is this a case of history repeating itself?
That's kind of what my
it's only to the detriment of our national fucking security.
Yeah.
Like this guy should fucking bring back fucking harakiri, dude.
So
like,
I mean,
bring some honor back to the goddamn job of CEO and like just fucking like, you know, commit seppuku, dude. Like fucking seriously, like it's our goddamn country, dude. And like they're selling us out like fucking piece by piece. And when shit like this happens,
yeah,
it fucked the whole world up. It fucked the whole world up.
And that's the thing. The worst part is we say it fucked the whole world up. It literally fucked the whole world up, because not only were airlines and having to write handwritten boarding passes, there were flights completely fucking grounded because the computers in the planes were using this fucking software.
I'd also like to add in too that
blue screen of death doesn't play, dude.
And I want to touch on something real quick before you, John. I'm gonna go into another thing. So late Friday, they released a workaround. Me and the guys at work, when we read the fucking workaround, we all fucking busted our asses laughing.
I was gonna
because
say,
the workaround was boot into safe mode and delete the System 32 fucking file. System 32 is the file that has everything that tells Windows how to be Windows.
So
delete that fucking file, you dumbass.
So CrowdStrike is their workaround is to remove the DNA of the infrastructure.
Pretty much. So what a lot of companies are having to do, and I've got buddies that work for some of the airlines and stuff, they're having to go through and manually fucking re-image every fucking computer. I've got buddies that haven't been off work since fucking 5 a.m. on Friday morning.
I believe it.
Because there's just everybody's running around trying to get all these machines re-imaged to have everything business as usual tomorrow morning on Monday when the business week starts.
Imagine if this had been an actual attack. This happened from like the good guy side.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you let corporations run rampant and you don't hold their fucking the shareholders and the goddamn CEOs and CFOs and all the other fucking fuckheads at the top accountable.
Yeah.
Okay. And do I need to remind anybody about the fucking Sackler family that created the goddamn opioid epidemic that is still ravaging our country like to this day?
Yeah.
They're still alive. They're not in jail. Okay, just letting everybody know. Just reminding everybody.
Yeah,
this is what happens with corporate fuckery. Corporate fuckery, and it's our fucking national security at risk.
Yeah,
that's fucking corporate fuckery.
Yeah. I also want to add in too. So my wife, she works at a crematory. That's what it's called, right, baby? A crematory.
That's a crematorium.
Yeah. So she was explaining to me that even her systems were down, and it's essential. Death is an essential.
9/11 response systems were down in several places, many places. Yeah. People 100% died yesterday because of this shit.
Yeah. My city, they actually on Facebook,
people died.
The Greensboro Police Department on Facebook posted yesterday morning when everybody was freaking out because it was still early on, or Friday morning because it was still early on in the incident, because it was being reported on national TV that 911 systems were down globally, nationally. And our department was like, hey, our shit still works. If you have an emergency, call 911.
Which is good.
Like, luckily, our PD still was able to receive. Dispatch was still able to receive calls, shit like that, because this is a huge fucking problem. And honestly,
this is not a small.
Honestly, the FTC needs to fucking do a deep dive into this company at this point because of the impact this fucking outage caused. So, let's go back to Y2K.
Let's go back to why we still do fucking like land navigation in the Army.
Yeah.
Like why do you need
land navigation in the Army? Because I'm not sure about you, Jay, but our fucking GPS has never fucking worked properly.
It's 2020. It's 2024. Why would I ever need to fucking use a map and a compass? Well, guess what, motherfucker? If all the fucking bullshit goes down, you got fucking nothing. Do you know how to?
You better know how to read the fucking map.
You better know how to fucking read a goddamn map, and you better have the right goddamn fucking one for fucking the area you're in. Like,
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, it's this really proved from a global perspective, even how dependent the world, not just our nation, the world, because it wasn't just the U.S. affected. There were global companies affected, and it proved how dependent everybody is on fucking technology.
It's correct, and it gets real scary real quick when you realize fucking you got a fucking busted leg in a ravine, and 911 ain't fucking answering.
And this is,
like,
but see,
because of a fucking IT failure.
This is another reason why I always say, being an IT professional, like I've tried to get rid of pen and paper as much as I can in my fucking day-to-day operations, because I work in IT. You know, sometimes it's easier, but I still have notebooks and I'll jot down quick notes. And like when I'm in a meeting and I'm being handed tasks, I'm jotting them down on paper, but then I'm also storing them in a notes application on my phone, my computer, stuff like that. I have what's called a redundancy backup system. Pen and paper is part of that redundancy. Every single phone number saved in my fucking phone is written down in a fucking notebook also.
There you go.
Fuck yeah.
Every image I have in my Photos app on my phone, my Mac, is backed up to a fucking hard drive. I'm one of those people where I will tell you redundancy when it comes to anything. You want to make sure there's no single point of failure and that you have redundancies in place for situations like this.
What did you say? No single point of failure?
No single point of
failure. That was a fucking single point of failure that cascaded and cascaded and cascaded. Like,
because a lot of these companies didn't have the redundancies in place to make sure that if this one thing went down, they were still able to operate business as usual.
That's like how many layers and different groups of people got lazy for this to happen? Based on one failure, then it cascaded that bad. How many people got fucking lazy?
And that's where, you know, I feel bad for my fellow IT professionals, for my buddies that work in the field that are dealing with this, because my company, we didn't get fucking hit. We had our Microsoft products went down late Thursday for maybe an hour and a half. But that's where I will give a huge props to fucking Microsoft, because Microsoft was partially affected by this fucking issue.
They recognized it real quick.
The second it happened, Microsoft had fucking redundancies in place to rectify the fucking problem and fix it quickly.
Proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance.
You need to say it louder, Jay. You need to say it louder.
Say what you can. Say what you can.
And while we have Microsoft coming out of our mouths, Bethesda has unionized.
They did. I saw that. Tell us a little bit about it, John.
Bethesda is officially the first Microsoft game studio to fully unionize. There have been layoffs like crazy at Bethesda, at Microsoft, and I just think that they got tired of it. The union was confirmed after 241 developers either signed a union authorization card or indicated that they wanted unionization via an online portal. It follows Bethesda Game Studios Montreal's unionization in late June as well, and the unionization of roughly 300 quality assurance workers within ZeniMax, which is Bethesda's parent company. A major of developers at Bethesda Game Studios, Dallas, Rockville, and Austin are ecstatic to announce the formation of our union with CWA Union. Together as one, you're good. Bless you.
Damn it.
Right. Bless you. We'd advocate for the betterment of every developer at BGS, setting the new standard for our industry. I've only been part of one union when I was younger. I was part of the food workers union. I never really got into all the hubbub and all like the the major things about it because I didn't really understand it. I don't understand it now, but what I do understand is that
have you ever celebrated Labor Day?
Yeah.
That's because of unions.
Okay.
Yep. Have you ever been paid overtime because you work past 40 hours in a week?
Yeah.
That's because of unions.
That's because of unions.
Have you ever worked 8 hours a day for 5 days a week and no more, no less?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because of unions.
Well, actually, I only work 7.5-hour days.
See, oh yeah, because you get a lunch. That's because of unions, and you get breaks.
Well,
you get breaks because you're mandated. There's a federal minimum wage, regardless of how fucking low it is, and it needs to be raised. It's all because of unions.
Well,
unions.
Yeah,
fucking did that shit.
I'm definitely on the minimum wage needs to be raised because the minimum wage has been the same since I turned fucking 18.
Yeah, it was like 2009, I think. 2009, 2008, 2009, 7, something like that. It was the last time they fucking
it was like 6 or 7. Somewhere in there was the last time we got fucking increase on minimum wage.
It's like 7.25. It's still 7.25.
It's fucking bullshit.
You can't fucking do if you work. The idea of minimum wage is if you work 40 hours, you can afford to live as one person. If you work 40 hours at a minimum wage, and like show me anywhere in the country, if you work a 40-hour week at 7.25, where you can live, aside from like not underneath a bridge, because you'll be under a bridge.
I was going to say under a bridge. That's where you can live.
Yeah.
In your car.
If
you can afford a car,
you can't really afford a car on that. I mean, fuck. Like you're working a whole day just to fill your fucking gas tank, right?
Yeah.
Like, right?
Right.
One day of work is a gas tank.
Yep.
Like,
all right.
Well, I mean, and don't get me started on fucking interest rates and shit right now. That's a whole fucking rabbit hole we can go down.
Fuck corporations.
And I don't think we've got enough time left in this episode to fucking look.
Oh yeah.
Fucking go down that.
All right, but
sidebar that one for next week, and we'll just go on a whole rant about fucking interest rates next week.
We'll do a whole kit and caboodle about it.
I like it. So
stay tuned for DD214 After Dark later this week for the
right.
rants.
So Jay, you got to work a concert this week.
I did. Holy crap.
Let's talk about it. I'm gonna put all right. Are you ready to hit that button?
Squillini? Got covered.
Here we go. Oh boy.
Wrong button.
It's still a good one.
Hold on.
Well, Pilgrims, it's been a while. Good to see you again. Your friendly neighborhood, Jay, been down a couple of trails since the last time we saw each other. Why don't you come belly up here at this here bar, share a beer with me. We'll talk some shit, and maybe we'll get into some here in a little while. All right. So this week, I think John, remind me if I'm wrong, John. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. You said something about Beartooth, right? And you were like, "Hey, are you gonna do that?" And I was like, "I'm not sure. I don't know yet."
Yeah, I had brought up because one of my favorite bands right now, they're called Never Tell, and it's their first tour, and they just got signed. They just got signed, and they're playing with Boundaries, Currents, and Beartooth. And Beartooth is a pretty big band right now.
Were they at this show?
Never Tell. Yeah, they should have been the opening band.
They were. Okay then. Okay. Yeah. All right then. Yeah. So I got to see Never Tell too. How about that? Yeah. So I didn't know if I was going to work it. I knew it was going to be at the Midland where I work occasionally. I got a call, I think on Sunday or Monday. It was like right after the podcast, or it was like the next day last week. And they're like, "Can you?" Like they put a call out they needed extra people on the barricade.
Oh shit.
So I was like, "Oh, well, fuck, I ain't doing anything that night. Let's fucking like YOLO that shit." Right. So I do my regular Tuesday thing. And that night I went down to the Midland and I was on the barricade. And this, honestly, John, like no shit, this was probably one of the most fun shows I've ever done at the Midland. And it was unique. It was unique in that once like the crowd started moving in and like started getting going, I've never seen crowd surfing at the Midland, and this show had a lot of crowd surfing, and they were basically, we were instructed like, get like if they're crowd surfing, get them over the barricade and then get them off to the sides, right? So I was playing catch and release, you know, with a lot of people from the crowd, right? Like pretty much the whole time. Never Tell was actually pretty good. I like Never Tell. I want to say I like the second band, whoever they were. I don't remember.
Boundaries.
Were they the second one? Boundaries?
Yep. Boundaries was the second band. The Currents was the third.
Probably like, what was the name of the third one?
Currents.
All of them were good. All of the openers were good. Honestly, I probably liked the second band the best. And that includes Beartooth. That includes Beartooth.
I saw this crazy video from that night that they put in their stories, and it was like a crazy. I was trying to look for you too, but it was so dark. But apparently towards the end of the show, there was like a crazy, like they were like jumping. Everyone was jumping, and it looked like a wave of water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. It's fun. It's fun to watch sometimes. It's very, very fun to watch sometimes. I had a really good time doing this show. I had a really this one was. I worked for it. I got to work out. Didn't make it to the gym that day. I got to work out that night. I got to fucking work out that night. Your boy Jay was fucking carrying some folks and being assisted carrying some folks with some of my fellow security guards. But everybody had a good time. Everybody stayed safe. For some of you bigger boys and girls, okay, your crowd surfing days, you might want to think about them being not kind of over. Okay, like when you've got fucking fat boy Slim and fucking fat sweaty Betty, you know what I mean? Like trying to fucking crowd surf, like it doesn't just fuck us up, it fucks the crowd up. Okay, just throwing it out there.
You know what? And it's not even a shame either. It's like it's a safety issue. To be honest,
it kind of is because like the one thing that the crowd did really good. They weren't doing like the shove thing where like people can catch air. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they weren't throwing them over the barricade. They were like they were handing them to us basically. Like the crowd was handing them to us, which is like, good job, Kansas City. Fucking A. Hold on. I always gotta give mad props to my fucking. Good job, Kansas City. Thank you. Fucking saving my back, saving my goddamn fucking like neck and like all the other goddamn things that get fucked up, like because crowd surfing can be dangerous. So just be careful when you do it. But no, everybody had a good time. I had one of the most beautiful moments I've ever fucking had at a concert, John. You want to hear about it?
No shit, yeah.
Dead ass. There was a couple, but this one was like the fucking like the rose that grew from like concrete, right? Like the precious, right? There was this little three-year-old girl, and I know that because they had a sign. And when Beartooth, in between the last person and Beartooth, the last band and Beartooth, her like dad and mom like worked their way like closer, and they put her up on their shoulders, and she had you know some pink goddamn ear protection, you know, and all that. Little tiny girl, dude, right? Tiny little thing. Well, during the show, during Beartooth set, I had to go over and assist, bringing you know a person or two out of the you know from over the barricade. And as I was walking back to my spot, I see this little girl. She like locks onto me like 3-year-olds kind of do. Like when they see movement, they kind of latch on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I went back to my spot and she was still staring at me, and I just went, and she fucking waved back. And like in all that fucking madness and shit like surrounding her, dude, like she was paying attention. Like 3-year-olds, like out of the mouth of babes comes wisdom.
It's kind of interesting too, because like she knows you're a security guard. She knows that if safety needs to be had,
I wouldn't necessarily say she at 3 years old that
she was aware of something like that.
No, it's a big party, dude. Like they don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't say at 3. That's
not
at
3.
Yeah,
not at 3.
At 3, she just saw somebody that looked friendly. Surprisingly, I'm not sure if you've seen but she just saw somebody that looked friendly and was like, they're waving at me, so I'm going to wave back.
That's basically, that's kind of like, and it, you know, there's a lot of times I do concerts, you know, I think about my kids. I think about, you know, like life experiences and stuff. When some of the singers, they talk about some of their struggles, they do a lot of the performances I see are epic. They're fucking awesome. I'm a very, very fortunate man to be in the line of work that I do, and not just because I get to do it, but because I enjoy it. I do enjoy the work that I do. I really do. And I get a kick out of it. And stuff like that doesn't happen very. Another thing you'll like, John, that I saw was a full-grown dude, and this was okay. This I was okay with. A full-grown dude had everybody get him up, and a kid about probably like somewhere between 10 and 12, maybe.
Yeah.
Ish. Like he'd be small for 12, but like big for 9. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stood up on this grown dude's abs, and they crowd surfed them together during one of, I don't think that was Beartooth though. It was like, I think it was one of the earlier ones.
No shit. That's cool.
And he surfboarded the dude. And I pulled the kid down while my partners freaking got the other dude, but I pulled the kid down. But like that was cool seeing them do that. Like that was like I was like, fuck yeah. I'm the security guard. I was getting into it. You know what I mean? I was like,
yeah, those group of bands right now, like those specific 4, they're very known for being, well, especially Beartooth. They're more of like a positive. They're very into they're in the very positive out stuff with the band. So it's really cool.
All of them were. And I totally picked up on that vibe. The crowd was cool. Everybody was cool. Again, no problems, bro. No, Jay got a workout catching fucking fat, sweaty Betty, you know, like see somebody going up, be like, hey, there she blows, you know, and we go fucking catch him. And then like I had a good time. I had a fucking good time.
Yeah. And you know what's fucked up about all that too, man? How the fucked up thing about the whole fucked up thing about that is that things like you go to a concert like that, right? And things are so calm. And then you hear about things that happened like with that one festival a couple years ago.
Which one? The Blue Ridge Football Fuck Fest?
The one was it Travis Scott?
What happened? Remind me, brother.
Lighten us.
Something
something dark side.
Travis Scott Festival.
I love you, Joe.
Astro World. It happened to Astro World a couple years ago. There was like a bunch of people that died. Yeah, and we talked about that too. I do have a clip here from that show, Jay. This is what I was talking about.
Show it. Let me see.
I want to see.
I want to see. Can you please blow that up? I love you, but please blow that.
I don't think I could.
You can't.
Oh,
with
yes,
YouTube, it's going to cut it off.
I would be all the way at the bottom. I would be all the way at the bottom underneath where KC says. Where it says KC.
Oh, like down here?
Yep.
Interesting.
I was all the way. I was fucking stage left, fucking house right. All the way. I was all the way like stage fucking left, house right.
So I guess another thing we've got to discuss. When are we going to do all 3 of us in one place at one time?
Good question. Ooh.
Because we've now done John and Jay and Joe and Jay, but we've never done the 3 J's.
No, we have not. And I think I have a perfect place for that. Somewhere in fucking Tennessee.
Are you going to Tennessee soon?
No, but hear me out. Hear Mr. Land Navigation fucking out. From North Carolina to Tennessee, from New Jersey to Tennessee, from Kansas City to Tennessee.
It's about the same fucking distance.
About the same. And fucking not Memphis. What's got
damn, you really thought about this.
Knoxville. Knoxville is like underrated. Have you been there?
I've got buddies that live there. I've been there. I'm not a big fan of Knoxville.
What do you want, Memphis?
I would say
I'm not a big fan of Nashville.
Tennessee.
I'm not a big fan of Nashville.
I would say
Chattanooga,
because they've got a lot of shit to fucking do,
and they're cool. They're cool. John. Chattanooga.
Now, granted, we do Chattanooga. Y'all have to get hotels.
Well, yeah.
Me, I've got somebody I can stay with for free.
That's no sweat off my sack, dude. That is no sweat off my fucking sack, dude. I don't give a shit.
But no, I mean, if we're going to do a DD214 takes over Chattanooga, Tennessee, what we need to do is do, I would say more like Pigeon Forge or like the mountains. And we get a cabin together. We all go in together on a cabin.
Just have to make sure they have good internet.
Those areas now have actual fucking internet.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it's got it, but we have to be able to stream. We just have to be able to stream.
We have my MacBook, my fucking phone. We do the same setup we did when we fucking did KC.
We got hotspots. iPhones have hotspots too, so
we've got this.
I'm sorry. What were we just talking about? What happened Friday? My bad. I'll shut the fuck up. My bad.
They don't have. They don't have.
I'm going to repeat myself. MacBook, not Windows computer. You fucktard.
Yeah, until the fucking bullshit happens to a Mac, right? Right. Like, because I totally have faith in that corporation over the fucking other asshole. Right.
I can go back on one hand and count how many times Mac's been down.
He's right, you know. He's actually right. That's the thing.
Holding my tongue.
You want to know something? Jay would
bet. We're talking about a company that's been around since the 70s.
And it's funny too. And it's funny too, because and Squillini, back me up here. Do you think Jay, with him, you know, with the way that he does the podcast with us, would he benefit having a Mac?
Honestly, I about fucking gifted him my MacBook.
Oh shit.
You might need to. I'm starting to get a little squirrely with my laptop. I was actually thinking about that in the shower. I'm like, if your laptop crashed today, what the fuck would you even get? You'd have to call fucking John and Joe and be like, I need help. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I can't go.
Don't call John. Call Joe.
Don't call me.
I can't afford to go to fucking Best Buy and like
had to have me build his computer. So don't go to John.
I can't afford to go drop a fucking grand on a goddamn PC right now, dude.
You can't even trust me to press the right button. All right, this is where we are.
That's a long-standing thing. So
yeah, but
here's
all right. So
at that point, if it gets to that point, Jay, where your fucking computer craps out, I will send you a fucking computer and a fucking monitor. All you have to buy is a cheap ass desk.
I already got that. I already got that.
Because I've got my Mac Mini, I've got my MacBook. Both of them are the exact same year model, running the same fucking hardware. So I could send you my Mac Mini and fucking 2 monitors, and just use my fucking MacBook.
Would I be able to play on John's Red Dead server on that?
No.
Oh, fuck me.
That's where you need Windows.
Jay wants to play Catwagon.
Yeah, I want to play.
That's where you need the software, the operating system that constantly has fucking problems.
Right. Okay.
So,
we'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out one of these days. We will.
But yeah, we need to definitely plan something like that.
That's funny.
You know, John and his wife, me and my wife, and then you.
I've stayed in Knoxville. Had a good night there. That was over 10 years ago though. And I've driven through, basically horizontally driven through Tennessee. Beautiful fucking country, like amazing Appalachia, like just amazing. I would love to do Chattanooga. Sounds fun.
That's why I keep saying the next time you go to West Virginia, you might have to take a little bit of a detour, but you're going to have to come to fucking North Carolina and visit me in my stomping grounds. And when you do that, fucking air mattress ready. I'll have the smoker ready. I'll give you some fucking Joe barbecue.
That I would love.
That's what I want.
We'll be outside for a couple hours, early as shit, starting drinking.
I'll be drinking with you guys too.
But
you might have to get John down for that shit.
Better yet, if we're gonna do this, let's just do it in NC. Let's do it at my place. I get the smoker going.
That we could do too.
Do you have a big backyard that I could build like a house tent?
No.
Damn.
I do.
But I've got
I do.
I've got enough
Big
fucking
enough.
mattresses, and I can spread the wealth between you and your wife and fucking.
Dude, all I need is a fucking bathtub, bro. It's not like it wouldn't be the first fucking time I've slept in one. Okay.
So,
like,
unfortunately, in the current place I live, we have a 1.5 bath, and the bathtub is where I take my showers.
So you don't sleep in it?
No.
But you could, as long as it's fucking
I mean,
dry.
you could. I'm
As
not
long
saying
as
you
it's
could.
dry.
Because the thing is, if you ask my wife, she has a picture of me passed out drunk in our bathtub.
I need that as a podcast cover.
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Amy, if you can hear me, get the picture of Joe passed out in the bathtub.
This is the one thing I'm glad she doesn't fucking listen to is this podcast.
I'm gonna text her. I have her on Messenger. I'm gonna text her.
Motherfucker.
I have your wife on. I have your wife as a
I
Facebook
forgot
friend.
that she added you and you added her back on fucking Facebook. God damn it.
You're goddamn right, I did.
Stop introducing her to my friends.
Jay might be primitive in his technology, but he does know how to use it.
I absolutely. I'm like the fucking orcs, dude. I'm like a fucking orc, dude.
Man,
I would never be able to create it. But I will exploit the fuck out of it, right? Like,
Hey.
Oh man. Oh, he's gonna ask.
hey, you might as well just save yourself the trouble. I want to see it. He's gonna do it. I love it.
Yeah, and then when he comes back, we'll finish off with Generation Kill and then into our final thought,
Absolutely.
which would be
perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah. Oh, we're about to get the answer.
Hey, real quick, let me go. I need to freaking relieve myself.
Yep.
Be right back. What'd you say, Joe? What'd you say?
She just walked in.
Can she hear me?
He wants you to send the picture of me passed out in the bathtub. They're going to use that as a podcast cover.
I don't know if I still have it.
You have to look. Please look. Please look. I love you. Please
If you
look.
get back in the group chat with Calvin and Shelby, it's probably there.
Okay, I'll go back and look there.
Thank you, Amy. I love you.
You're welcome.
Because he was all like, I've got her on Facebook. I can just message her and ask for this. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to call her into the fucking office while we're live. So I hide on the internet.
Smart man. Smart man. Like, don't.
The ginger.
Aw.
Oh, it's Garfield.
Smart man. Don't argue with Jay.
Oh man,
I just don't feed him lasagna, so.
Right.
Is his name Garfield?
No, it's Tigger.
I'll be right back, John.
Tigger's just as good. And yeah, no, I mean,
There's times where, like, my buddy that also lives in KC outside of Jay, Mike, he, first time after we got him, he was like, there was one conversation, we're on the phone talking and shit, bullshitting, and he's like, do you just ever walk around your place saying, my Tigger?
Oh, shit. There's a guy in my area. I'm really thinking about being an asshole to my landlord and just going. Oh fuck, I'm drawing a blank right now. What's it called? A helper dog, a helper pet,
A service dog.
a service dog. Ah, Jesus Christ! I had a big brain fart.
If I could reach through the fucking camera and smack you right now, John.
I know. I'm not doing too good. I think I've slept more this week than I ever have.
But I will tell you, I wouldn't be smacking you with my hand.
Oh Jesus! No,
I'd
yeah,
smack
but
you with my micro penis.
yeah, I'm really contemplating being an asshole to my landlord and being like, hey, well, I could get a service pet. So, but
You
it's
can go
getting to that point.
online and get fucking ESD paperwork, emotional support animal paperwork, without fucking doing anything, and then boom, under ADA laws, they can't say shit.
Yeah, that's true.
I've got all 3 of our cats registered as emotional support animals. So
That's
that
what
way
I want. I
don't
want
have
a
to pay
cat.
pet rent.
I want a cat so bad. I want a cat so fucking bad. But yeah, so we're gonna end today's show on an interesting note. During the great rapture of 2024 this past week, we talked, we lost Richard Simmons, Dr. Ruth, and then there were so many other people that died continuing on this week, but there was one that wasn't mentioned last week. I'll put up the footage. Jay, you want to pick it up?
Yeah, I'm looking up something real quick just so that I can read it when I get ready to. There we go. Okay, so I got that up. Okay, so there's a guy by the name of Evan Wright, and for those of you who are familiar with the book and the HBO miniseries called Generation Kill, okay, Evan Wright was the reporter. Okay, he worked at the time. He worked for Rolling Stone. And he was the reporter. And unfortunately and sadly, he passed away the Friday before our last show, and the news hadn't really completely broke by the time we went live last Sunday. So we were kind of unaware, and then we kind of found out like basically after we had already gone live. So we wanted to acknowledge that Evan Wright had passed away. He's the writer of the book Generation Kill, which eventually became the HBO miniseries. Sadly, he did take his own life, and it kind of hurts to know that. And the Lieutenant Fick in the show, in the book, Nate Fick, who also wrote Nate Fick also wrote a book based on his experiences during that time during the initial invasion of Iraq with Force Recon. Nate Fick wrote something and he posted it, and it says, a few days before the invasion of Iraq in 2003, my commanding officer told me that a journalist from Rolling Stone would be riding with my platoon. I was upset. At best, he would be a distraction. At worst, a threat. After our first close quarters firefight, I found Evan Wright counting bullet holes in the door next to his seat. He could have left at any time, gone back to Kuwait to check into a nice hotel and file his story, but he didn't. Instead, he spent many nights at the forward edge of the entire U.S. invasion. So many memories. Evan and I crouched behind a tire as AK rounds snapped past, talking about the relativity of safety. Evan running in a crazy zigzag pattern, which you'll probably remember from the show, from one covered spot to another under sniper fire while I yell at him to just run straight, goddammit. Learning on a cold desert night that Evan's bulging duffel didn't contain a warm jacket, only cartons of Marlboro Reds he thought he could trade for whatever he'd need.
Fucking
Yo.
He wrote a series of articles about our platoon in Rolling Stone. They won the National Magazine Award in 2004, the top prize in magazine reporting. He turned them into a book and then an HBO series, Generation Kill. Evan took his own life this weekend. He leaves behind a wife and 3 young kids. I knew Evan as a good and gentle guy in a place that was neither good nor gentle. He wasn't a Marine, but many of us who spent March and April 2003 alongside him have thought of Evan for the past 2 decades as one of us. Rest in peace, brother. So there you go.
Hoorah. He might not have been a Marine, but definitely the way that was written right there that you just read, Jay, from one of the guys that was there with him, he was definitely an honorary Marine.
Oh, yeah. He was there.
They gave him the fucking honorary title of Marine.
He was there.
He was there. He dealt with the shit. He sucked it the fuck up for being a journalist, which is a whole fucking different
whole nother. That's kind of, like when you see the documentary Restrepo, it's the same shit.
Oh yeah, Restrepo is
shout out.
That's how we hear a lot of these stories. A lot of us have experienced things similar in nature or similar in magnitude at times, but a lot of those stories, they go untold. They just go, they get stored away up here. They don't get talked about a lot. It's stuff. That's why we have journalists in place. Sometimes it's why we do combat correspondence and stuff like that. It's so that the world can see exactly how it is.
So, shout out to Evan Wright.
Yeah.
Rest
We're
in
gonna
peace.
put him. We're putting him on the DD214 Network Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. Hall of fucking Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Honorary member of the Marine Corps, honorary veteran.
Yep. Honorary combat veteran.
It's you know, and you
That
guys,
dude's talking about
Gone but
combat.
never forgotten.
A lot of people fucking combined. Like,
yeah, and you guys know me. I have a lot of respect for like journalists and what they do. It's
Well,
it's some of them really just want to get the story out.
it's important for it's important for a democracy to have like truthful, fucking honest reporting. If you don't have that, you don't have the correct information. Go ahead, Joe.
Being a content creator and doing what we do and doing a little bit more, John and me both do a little bit more on the content creation and journalistic side of things than you, Jay. But it brings a whole nother it's a whole nother perspective, because honestly, if I didn't go in, I'd have never fucking gone and sat there and done what he fucking did.
No, because why would you? Unless you were in.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you? But there's people like him.
But there's people like him,
and
which are proper war correspondents, not these pussy ass war correspondents like what you read off and were saying, where he could have fucking gone back to Kuwait and fucking got himself a hotel room and fucking been perfectly safe.
You know who else?
He said, no, fuck this shit. I'm going to be out here in the suck with you guys.
You know who else was a combat correspondent? Ernest fucking Hemingway. You know what I mean? It's shit like that. It goes all the way back to like WW1, dude. Okay, this shit ain't nothing new. This shit ain't nothing new, and the people have a right to know. But you got to find somebody with some fucking sack and some fucking intestinal fortitude to do that, male or female. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
exactly. I guess, with that, we segue into final thought.
Yeah.
Go for it, Joe.
So yeah, I'm going to definitely, that entire fucking thing's got me motivated right now. And for me personally, and this is, we talk about everybody has their times of the year that are tough, hard, usually holidays are really a big thing. For me, this past Thursday was 10 years and 1 week since my dad passed away.
We call those anniversaries. In my therapy group, we call those anniversaries.
Yep. Right. Yeah, it was an anniversary. And this past week definitely was hard between that and a bunch of other things. And we all have that moment where we need to reflect on the good, the bad, the ugly, but we definitely don't want anyone in our circle to succumb to the good, the bad, and the ugly. If anybody's feeling down, out, they've got nothing left, there's always the National Suicide Hotline. You can text or call 988 or dial and call 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-TALK. If you don't feel like talking to one of the people from the National Suicide Hotline, you can definitely reach out to one of the three of us, Discord, Facebook. I don't have my Facebook locked down to where I can't receive messages from people I don't know. If you need to find me, I'm one of the admins of our Facebook page. I'm on the Discord. We're there for you. We don't want anybody to succumb to the thoughts that there's nothing left or nothing worth continuing for. Those times happen. I have those times frequently. And then I sit and I look at everything I've accomplished in my life and even what I didn't accomplish. I look at the bad, I look at the good, and I talk. I talk to the people I care about. I talk to the people I love so they know what I'm going through. And that builds a healthy support system for all of us. So we don't want anyone to think there's no one out there that will listen. Out of the three of us, me, Jay, John, we've all been there. I'm sure of it. There's not a time it hasn't crossed our minds, but we've powered through. We've looked at what we do have in our lives. We've looked at what we could have done differently. We've looked at what we have done. And we think maybe, we have more than what we think. So definitely, reach out to one of us, the hotline, a battle buddy. If you're not one of those people feeling down and out, I know this week I texted one of my old buddies that I served with three combat tours just to check in. And, just doing that check-in might be what saves that life. You might not have talked to him in 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, whatever it might be. But those contacts can be a huge life-altering situation where somebody might be on the brink and it saves that person. Because it shows that person there are still people out there that care. There's people out there that don't want them to take their life. The last thing I want, is definitely to get a message from somebody saying, hey, XYZ took their own life, and then now I'm going to a funeral of somebody that I really care about or that I served with, that was a close friend, comrade, brother in arms. So we definitely want everybody to feel appreciated, respected, and loved.
Fucking beautifully said, man. Beautifully said.
Fucking A.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming by. This was actually a slamming episode. It was emotional up and down.
We did all right. We did all right today. We did all right.
I like how we always give ourselves like a review at the end of the show too. It's like, we did good. You did really good, guys.
Hey, John, this isn't a freaking reality TV fucking podcast.
On a porn scale, this was a good 9.5 out of 10.
We don't get 30 views, bro.
Every now and then, it's every now and then. Rumble, it's a completely different conversation.
Oh, I look at Rumble constantly to see how our views are doing over there, and they're fucking great.
How are they? What do we get?
Really good.
Like how many?
Well, real quick, so we can end this. Yeah,
on an upbeat note, right?
Very upbeat. Last DD214 is at 14. That's 166 is at 14 views. And then 165 is at 29 views. But there's raw views and unique views. So
but then 164, we're at 90 views.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So 3 episodes ago, we're at 90, or 4 episodes ago now, we're at 90 views.
Huh.
But then we've got 2 episodes, or 3 episodes was 29. Last week was 14. Rumble, we've been hitting some marks. Episode 157, 95.
Huh.
Yeah. They like us over there.
What are the titles of those? The ones that got all the views?
So the 95 view was Mother Lovers. That was Mother's Day.
Yeah. It was a good. Yeah. It was
Everybody likes their Mother's Day.
90 views was Fade Up Against Your Will.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never Trust the Fart is at 42.
March These Nuts, which was episode 148 to 75 views, which was 4 months ago.
I love how me and John laugh at our own fucking jokes, dude. Like we don't give a fuck, dude.
So
number 154, No Help Is Coming.
So we're doing our thing. Again, we're a niche market. We do
we
what
are.
we do.
We are. I never expected.
We're definitely not for everybody.
I never expected to get rich off of this, dude. Let me promise.
Yeah, no, we're like Frito hot sauce or something.
Like
we acquired taste.
You better already know what it is and already like it before you.
We're like the hot nut challenge. We're not for everybody. And some people might look at the thought of us.
I still haven't shit right. It's been over a year. I still have not shit right.
Yeah, I know.
Same here.
Same here.
Same here.
Never
We'll
again.
see you guys later. We love you.
Have a good day.
Salutes.